Alright govs, it's Odly Otter here with another video. Currently sitting on the off ramp on my way to work. Welcome to this week's version of the Traffic Talk. Today we're going to be dealing with a topic very briefly. Again, I'm trying to keep these videos a little bit shorter. So we're going to deal very briefly with the topic of how to adult. The reason I'm dealing with this is because I've kind of just seen it a little bit more recently in some spaces online, and I'm sure you guys have as well. This am I adulting well, or I don't want to be an adult, or that kind of phrasing. So how do we adult? What does that actually look like? And people kind of saying, most of the time, the comments way of phrasing this is, I don't actually know what I'm doing. And that might be true. There might be a lot of things that you don't understand how to do. This is regrettably something that is prevalent in our society. There was this nice course in school called Lifeskills, right, where they should have actually shown you, ironically, because the name of that kind of subject is, they should have shown you how to have certain life skills. But I never in life skills learned how to do taxes. I never learned how to do like anything in terms of filling in forms that every South African person needs to fill in, applying for IDs, etc. Those are kind of things they should probably have taught us. We never understood anything in terms of the government in South Africa. Like, how is our government structure, our version of democracy, different to that of America? We're kind of just expected to learn those somewhere along the line, and I think that's just an indictment on the education system, but we're not really trying to drag that down at the moment. The real point is this idea of not knowing how to adult, or I adult differently, is something I've seen a bit online recently, and it just made me think about it. How do you guys define that? How do I define that? And the truth is, and this is probably going to be slightly comforting to a couple of you out there, is I think, hello, motorbike. Oh, no, that guy almost fell off. Sorry. Where was I? The truth is, we don't necessarily all know how to adult. That's kind of why the meme is funny, why we kind of enjoy it. Is the real reality in a lot of settings is we as humans are awkward. We don't understand how to do things. We might have some idea. We may have watched some YouTube videos, like the Green Brothers. They've done a decent series on one of their channels called How to Adult, kind of showing you how to conduct yourself and how to present yourself or do certain things, which is probably helpful. I haven't watched a whole lot of those, but the real issue is, for a lot of the stuff in my current exposure, we're kind of operating under this fake it till you make it style. We're all trying to pretend like we know what we're doing, but really we don't. And I think if we admit that, it might be somewhat comforting for the masses, for all of us. We don't know exactly how to do everything. Sometimes we just have to sit down and figure it out and be honest with ourselves in that. I see this. I was in a meeting last week, just a personal example here. I was in a meeting last week conducting something around service levels with a particular supplier that wasn't up to scratch. Can't get into too much details about that, but there were 4 of us in the meeting. The guy that came to meet with me and the rest of the team was nervous. You could see it right away. He didn't know how to conduct it. He didn't know who to address. He didn't know anything in terms of how to go about the meeting. Loud noises, hooting, and that came across quite simply. The other people in the meeting with me, the one had no real understanding of the concepts that we were discussing and the technical aspects behind it, and that's probably part of where this is coming from. as soon as we started digging deeper into that meeting, as soon as we started to get a little bit more technical, the guy who came to the meeting, then he could shine. Then he knew what was going on because that's his expertise. And as soon as he felt comfortable, he was able to discuss things. And I don't know what these guys are doing. There's a nice big red robot, but people are hooting because they want you to go through it. Anyway, the whole point in this discussion, trying to keep things quick, short and simple, is you don't necessarily always know what's going on. I think we just got to be okay with admitting that to one another. It's okay to be awkward. It's okay to be slightly nervous about things. That's actually part of being an adult, I think. Part of being an adult, and this is really the big crux of this video that I'm trying to get across here, is part of being an adult is also admitting that you don't know how to adult, that you don't know how to do everything. And the beauty of having people around you that might know some things you don't is that you can lean on them, you can ask questions, and you can get help. And that is part of being an adult. Learning where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and counteracting those. Either shining where you can, or kind of stepping a little bit behind someone else and letting them take lead, letting them help you where needed be. Where the other reaction to this is the hot mess style of no one knows how to adult and oh well. I think that can be slightly misleading, because I'm hearing sirens. Because nope, nothing I can do here. I think that can be slightly misleading because of the fact that we should be attempting to grow. We should be attempting to become better adults. Right? You with me on that? You can't continually feel like I don't know what I'm doing. You got to make attempts to learn. And this is kind of my big idea here behind all of this. Is this how to adult thing is great. It's kind of funny. I like some of the jokes you can see around this, but it really highlights two things. First off, we don't understand everything, and that's okay. And we should be leaning on one another for that. But secondly, we should be attempting. I don't know if you can see me much. Okay, you can, because I'm just under a bridge. Lighting the vehicle, guys. Anyway, we don't know how everything works, and that's okay. But we should be making an attempt, at least, to learn how to adult better. So, if you feel like you don't know how to adult, please click the like button. If you think I'm just the only person around that's faking it till I make it, you can click the dislike button. Hit me up with a message online. If you have anything else you want to discuss, down in the comments there, or on my Twitter as usual, and I'll look at those and we can discuss those in the next video. Otherwise, next week we're going to be discussing something I'm doing a little bit of research on in terms of distracted minds. Anyway, that's been this video. Click my face to subscribe, and I will see you soon in another one. Bye.